Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
I'm doing good.
So, what do you think we should talk about today?
I think we should talk about work permits.
It's coming up. It's becoming that season. You know, the spring is coming. The people are getting to work, and these kids are itching to make some money. So, yes, work permits are really good.
Yep, I've issued 2 this week already.
So,
For those of you who don't know, we do issue work permits. We're a work permit office.
You have to have a work permit officer available, and also, so you know, any child under the age of 16 that wants to work needs to have a work permit in the state of Wisconsin. So there has to be a registered work permit officer to be able to issue one of those. So that's something we would be happy to help you out with here at We Are Hope.
Yep. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about normally when an employer hires somebody who is 15 or younger, they know what's required. They know what to send somebody with, but they might not share that information to the parents or to the youth. So just want to reiterate what they need.
Exactly. And that way sometimes I think these youth are sometimes welcome for their parents to say, hey, can you go get this for me? But they need to have a little bit of responsibility in it also because it is their job. So we want to make sure everybody knows what's needed so we can help them out.
Yep. And I guess that's primary. Guess what? The youth has to be here because they have to sign it.
That's exactly true. It's their permit, so we need them for that.
So a parent just can't come and get it for them even if they have all the documents. The youth has to be there and has to sign it. So that's important. Probably the next important thing is you have to have a letter from the employer with all of the information on who they are. If it's not on their letterhead, they need their name, their address, phone number.
Name of the business.
And what that youth is being hired for. And that needs to have some specific job functions in it because we all know that it's rare to just be like, oh, I'm a cashier.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. And the reason that you need a work permit officer to issue these work permits is to make sure that they're not doing work that's prohibited, that they're not allowed to do. So that's our job to make sure that doesn't happen. So we need that letter from the employer. What's another thing they need, Kathy?
They're going to need a birth certificate or a baptismal certificate. We need to make sure that they are who they say they are. We need to make sure that they're legal to work in the state of Wisconsin. We need to make sure that we know and we can identify that if we're giving Judy a work permit, it's really Judy that's getting that work permit.
Right. We also need the parents to say that it's okay for their youth to work there, for their child to work there. So a lot of times we just have the parent countersign the employer letter and they just say it's okay for Judy to work here and sign and date it.
Exactly.
And that's sufficient.
There's also a fee that's involved. There's a $10 fee to get a work permit. Usually it is reimbursed by the employer. Sometimes the employer will give you that money up front. If not, be prepared that you will have to give that $10 fee for the work permit. You can then, once you have the work permit and you show it to your employer, a lot of times they will reimburse you for that.
Yep. And then another thing is that we need the Social Security card. Can't just know the number. It's just like in a job, you have to bring in those actual documents. We need to see them too. Again, that's part of the identity process. So just a quick review: Social Security card, and then a baptismal certificate, a birth certificate, or a driver's license that will identify them as with their birth date to verify their age, an employer's letter of intent to hire, and a parent countersigning that letter or writing a statement that it's okay if their child works for them, and a $10 fee. But if you have any questions on it, feel free to call us, 743-7273. But also just to reiterate our hours of when we're available, we are open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 3. And again, because the minor has to be here, keep that in mind with scheduling. But if you need us outside the times of 10 to 3, just call and schedule. We are available. Our doors just aren't unlocked.
And we're happy to help. And if you're an employer and you are looking at possibly needing some of those work crew, and you have the ability that you could hire someone who is of the younger age, make sure that you know that if they need a work permit, we're here to help. The EmployAbility Hub is here to help make sure we connect all those employers with those employees that they want.
Yep. So thanks for listening to Coffee Talk today, and we will see you next week.
Have a good day.